Today we'll continue our grammar in context sequence of lessons using Ziba Came on a Boat as our mentor text. As we go through this lesson today, you'll notice that it might be familiar because we are going to tap into some previous learning that you had last year with Mrs. Yorston and your Year 4 teachers. In this session, you will need to follow the teacher instructions carefully and do just as they do. Before we begin, take a minute to get organised. You will need a printed copy of the mentor passage, which was on page 12 of this week's learning grid. If you cannot print it out, you will need to write it exactly as it appears on the grid. And finally, you'll need a red pen or red pencil. Take the time to get those things now. You will recognise that this passage has been taken from Ziba Came on a Boat, our mentor text. Today, we are going to be studying this very, very closely, and we are going to be analysing and identifying the parts of speech that each word in this passage, in this sentence, belongs to. And when I say parts of speech, you might be thinking, what is that? They are things like nouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions, pronouns, conjunctions, articles, those types of words. So let's get started, shall we? First of all, we are going to read the text. I'll read the text and then you'll have an opportunity to pause this video for you to have a read aloud of this passage, maybe even two if you like. Let's begin. She felt the cool mountain air on her cheeks as she ran with her cousins down the rocky slope to collect water from the mountain stream. Pause the video now. Okay, and of course, you would recognize this text, and you know that she is referring to Ziba, the main character in our story. And this is one of Ziba's memories that she's remembering while she's on the boat, of running down the mountain or the hill with her cousins, collecting the water because they don't have running water in their village. Before we go any further, I want you to take a look at this text. What words can you already identify here by yourself? Think about the nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, prepositions, pronouns. Pause the video now and think about the words you can find. Now, I know you will have identified many of the words, okay? There are many different parts of speech in this passage, and that's one of the reasons why I've chosen to share this with you and to study it a little further. So yes, you might have found some nouns, some adjectives. We are going to label them with something that I have prepared called a code. Let's check it out. This is the code that I've created. And it doesn't have all of the parts of speech, but it will do for today. And maybe in future lessons, we can actually add to our code here. Okay, so we've got a preposition, adjective, verb, proper noun, noun, and pronoun. Okay, and then we have certain symbols that we're going to mark the text with. So if it's a preposition, we're going to use a circle, adjective, a star, a verb, we're going to underline it. If it's a proper noun, we're going to give it a square. If it's a regular common noun, we're going to give it a triangle. If it's a pronoun, we're going to give it a cloud. Now here we have our passage from Ziba, and we've also got the code there too. Okay, so we are going to now use the code to analyze our text a little closer. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to take your red pencil or your red pen in your hand and to do exactly what I do and to follow along on your piece of paper. Okay, let's begin, shall we? Now, let's begin with the nouns. Now, I've just chosen that for no particular reason. Let's think about the things, the people, the places, objects. Okay. She felt the cool mountain air on her cheeks as she ran with her cousins. Okay, so cousins is definitely a noun. So it says to put a triangle around the noun, so let's do it. Down the rocky slope. Now the slope is the thing. To collect water from the mountain stream. Now, mountain stream is a noun. Now, sure yours will be much neater than mine. I think we might have missed a couple. Let's go back to the top. She felt the cool mountain air. Okay, so we had mountain stream down below. So I think we need to make mountain air a noun as well. Okay, on her cheeks. Oh, of course, cheeks is a part of the body. So that would be a noun. As she ran with her cousins down the rocky slope to collect water from the mountain stream. Okay, I think that might be it. So I'm going to put a little star there. We've done nouns, but if we identify any more, we can come back to the triangle. Okay, what shall we do next? Okay, let's look for any proper nouns in this text. So a proper noun is the name of a place, person, or maybe a brand or a thing, but it needs to have a capital letter. So let's see if there are any proper nouns. No, I don't think there is any proper nouns in this text. So we can give that a bit of a star as well. Okay, let's look at the verbs. Take a moment yourself to pause the video to see if you can find any verbs in our text. Do that now. Okay, were you able to find them? Where were they? Okay, I hope you said ran. I hope you said ran. Yes, that is a verb, that is an action or doing word. Also, I hope you said collect, because collect is a doing action word. And there is one more right at the beginning. Yes, it's felt. Okay, so the past tense of feel is felt. Okay, so then I can put a little star next to verb. Okay, we are doing very well here. Let's now take a look at the adjectives. Now, there is a key clue wherever we see a noun. Often there is an adjective to describe the noun. Okay, so let's check it out. And of course, we're going to be doing a star around our adjectives. Now, of course, there's an adjective to describe the mountain air. Yes, it is cool mountain air, not just any air, cool mountain air. And what about the way that the slope is described? Yes, it's rocky. So that is our adjective there. Okay, again, I hope yours is a little neater than mine. I think that might be it with the adjectives. Only two in this text. There you go. Okay. I guess that shows that you don't have to use so much descriptive writing or words to create such a great passage or a great story. Okay, let's now take a look at the pronouns. Okay. Oh, I think we've missed something. Yes, I think we have. I think I've just found another adjective. And this particular adjective has a special function. It's known as a possessive adjective. It tells us who owns the noun. Okay, so again, these types of words, they come um, before nouns. Okay, so that gives us a bit of a clue. So who owns the cheeks? Yes, that must mean that her is an adjective. Also, whose cousins? Yes, it belongs to her. So her is a possessive adjective. Okay, awesome. Look at that. We had two types of adjectives there. Okay, let's look at the pronoun, shall we? The pronoun's going to be in a cloud. So you will know that this text starts with a pronoun. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. So let's do a fluffy cloud around the word she. She felt the cool mountain air on her cheeks as she, another pronoun, ran with her cousins down the rocky slope to collect water from the mountain stream. Okay, so there are only two pronouns in this passage. Awesome. Okay, so on our key, there is only one word group left, the prepositions. Okay, now does that mean all of the words that we have left are prepositions? No. If you're listening to me earlier in the video, I said that our key doesn't include all of the 12 parts of speech. We'll introduce those over time. Okay, but for the rest of for this code, we're going to look for the prepositions. Now, the prepositions, they indicate the location of a physical movement, an action, or an item. Okay, whether it's in, on, between, those kinds of words. So let's get ready to circle some words. She felt the cool mountain air. Where is it? It's on. So on is a preposition. Her cheeks as she ran with. Now, with is a special type of preposition. It indicates togetherness between people and things. That's a bit of a complicated one, that one. So yes, we do need to circle with. It's a preposition. With her cousins down down. So we've got down indicates the where, down the rocky slope. To collect water from, yes, from. That indicates a location of a physical movement or action. The mountain stream. Okay. Awesome. Great job. Now, hopefully, your sheet looks just like mine, but I'm sure it will be much neater, as drawing on the iPad can be a little tricky. Oh, I've just realized the word to should also be circled. It is also indicating movement or location. So that needs to be a circle as well. Okay. Now, before we finish up, I wanted to just talk about some of these words that we left here. The, as, the, and the. And look at that. They're all in a row. The word the is, does anybody know? You might already know. It's often used as a word called an article. And this is a word that introduces the noun. Okay? So here we have the introducing the mountain air, the introducing the rocky slope, and the introducing mountain stream. Okay? Then we have as. Now we have as, you might know what type of word as is. It starts with C, and we often use it in our compound sentences. Yes, it is a conjunction that separates two simple sentences together to make a compound sentence. So we have the first sentence, she felt the cool mountain air on her cheeks. And the second sentence could be, she ran with her cousins down the rocky slope to collect water from the mountain stream. So the word as function is a linking word to link those two sentences. Before we finish up and you go on with the second task for today, I just wanted to share a funny little meme that I found here. The more and more I study grammar in order to teach it to young people, I realize how complex and challenging it can be, because sometimes words in different sentences can have different functions depending on the placement of the word in the sentence. So it takes time, and there are even some adults that aren't great at this. So you might even teach mum or dad something. Okay, thanks again for a great session, and now I'll leave you to go and complete the second part of the task today.